Hello. Hello and welcome back. Just taking my shoes off. Okay, so what we're going to do today is Pilates and mobility. So a little bit of the core work and the basic fundamentals of Pilates. Then a little bit more sort of mobility and stretching to loosen off some bits and bobs, work on some hamstring flexibility and all that malarkey. Good. Right, where is... So it's good, a couple of minutes for you guys to all join in.
Just send you a link in WhatsApp. It's Spain and English version.
Exactly, Pauline. Here we go again. Cool. Okay, Maggie. Hopefully you follow later on. Morning, Meg. Every time. Come on, screen. Work for me. I've just had a fabulous message come through from my hairdresser saying he's booked me in on the 11th for 2 o'clock. Hasn't said which month. It just says on the 11th. Come on, newsfeed, work for me. Hopefully. Hi, Elisa. Oh, there we go. Right. It's working now. Perfect stuff. So you can see which bugger legs are with us. Hi, Eliane. Who are those other two? Yes, we'll do more of the core Pilates today, and then a nice bit of mobility and getting ourselves all nice and limber. Beautiful stuff. Okie dokie. Make sure you've got your mats. Have a towel for your head if you want one. And some Vata. And we'll get wriggling. Perfect stuff. Good job. Right, am I centered? Beautiful. Okay, let's crack on. So stand with your hips, with your feet directly into your hips. Stand nice and tall, so working up from the bottom, feel how your feet feel on the floor, the toes active. So Lisa, that means don't over grip the floor, just be mindful of the floor. Standing nice and tall, get your pelvic floor up and in, zip it all up, standing tall. And let's just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So you don't have to go in through your nose and out through your mouth, just breathe nice and steady. In and out, so we're lowering down our heart rates, those that are just on the HIIT class, and those who are just joining us, we're just getting that blood moving. Just be mindful of the position, so your glutes are nice and tight, everything is sucked up, ticked in. Beautiful stuff. Perfect. Have the arms out to the side. We're standing sore to begin. So nice deep breath in. As we rotate, we're going to breathe out. So breathing in, keeping that core beautifully drawn in. Rotate to the side and breathe out. Breathe into center. Nice and steady. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe into center. One more time, other direction. Breathe into center. Breathe out, rotate, last time. Breathe into center, good stuff. Let's just roll the shoulders. So you can feel how the shoulder blades are moving on the back of your rib cage. There's all those fascias, all those tissues. Can sometimes restrict our movement, just trying to loosen up those shoulder blades. Still think about your posture, your glutes, pelvic floor, core. Good stuff. Now you can place your hands to the side of your legs and just stretch down one side. So in case you missed the first part, we're going to be doing sort of more core Pilates, the fundamentals, and some nice bit of mobility, so we're mixing it in today. Changing sides, stretch down your legs. Make sure you don't lean forward or lean back. Feel that nice stretch. Don't forget to keep that core engaged. Good job. Back up to standing neutral, hands still by your sides, making sure you're sort of pressing your shoulders so you don't arch up and your traps get involved. So nice neutral, lower your chin, so you're going to stretch the back of your neck. Back to neutral, again be mindful of your shoulders, looking up to the ceiling. Back to neutral, keeping your shoulders still static, look to your left. And center and to the right. And center. Perfect stuff. Okie dokie. Let's take ourselves down to the floor. Make yourselves comfortable. So we're going to find our neutral positions. So most of you guys are aware, so I won't over waffle. So our airways are nice and open, our crown is on the mat. Shoulder blades are nice and comfortable on the mat. There's a slight arch in our backs. We have a neutral pelvis. That means our ribs and our hip bones are level. If I tilt my pelvis up, so my lower back is imprinted into the mat and my pelvis, back of my pelvis is, my bits and bobs are facing upwards. If I tilt completely the other direction, I end up with a bigger arch under my back. I've tilted my pelvis so my bits and bobs are facing down. So neutral is in between those. Core is nice and tight. Legs are at hip distance out, knees bent, feet touching the floor, and feel actual contact with the floor. So it's a very active position. Okay, all good? So we're going to go for our shoulder drops first. So extend your arms up. Your palms are facing each other. Your hands aren't too close together. I'm going to reach up, heaving those shoulder blades off the floor so you'll feel the middle of your back making contact, then drop those shoulder blades down. So it's a nice old thud. Try not to control the drop. I'm going to do 4 more of these, and each time feel how your shoulder blades are on the floor. 3 more, really reach up, and drop those shoulder blades down. Don't forget to keep your core engaged. Got 1 more, then we're going to take our hands overhead. So reach up, drop your shoulder blades, feel how they feel engaged on the floor. Now make sure your core is beautifully tight and take your hands overhead and touch your thumbs on the floor and then draw them back up. You're feeling how your shoulder blades stay in contact with the floor. If that means you need a slight flex in your elbow, absolutely fine, or slightly wider hands, perfect. Think of your shoulder blades. So take a nice deep breath in for me now. Draw your belly button into spine, tilt your pelvis so your lower back and the back of your pelvis is on your mat. Really feel that core kick in. Shoulder blades stay in contact with the floor, hands overhead, thumbs to the floor, and up. You're going to feel the resistance where your core wants to disengage. Really draw it in and make sure it doesn't. We have 3 more, so keep your breath nice and tight. Back and pelvis are pinned, shoulders flat, hands overhead. So nice steady movement, keeping that core tight, more down the sides. Your internal obliques will be working really hard here. Perfect. Then rotate your palms and bring your arms to the side of your body and back to your neutral pelvis so you have your gentle natural arch in your spine. Okay. Okay, so we're going to be doing our leg extensions next, 4 on either side. So, really truck going outside. We're going to hook our fingers over our hip bones. Nice deep breath in, tilt your pelvis so your lower back and the back of your pelvis is imprinted. You're going to feel how your core has already activated. Really work on keeping it tight. Slowly extend your right leg, keeping everything beautifully tight, particularly that core, lower back and back of your pelvis staying pinned, and draw it back in. It's not a quick movement. 4 on this side. Reset your breath at any time. Really make sure you're keeping that core rock solid. You'll feel how in different phases of the movement, your core wants to work differently. Keep it nice and tight. Got one more. Keep it pinned. Good job, little relax. Back to our neutral position. We're going to go for 4 on our left. Are we ready? So nice deep breath in. Draw your belly button into your spine. Tilt your pelvis so your lower back and the back of your pelvis is on the mat. Hook over your pelvic bone so you can feel how tight your core is. And let's go for 4 on the left. Nice and slow in your own time. Reset your core if you need to, but push into that mat. Make those core muscles work. Got one more. And rest. Good job. So location-wise, it's probably there, if that makes any sense. This part of the muscle we're working the hardest, your internal obliques, to keep that stability whilst we're extending our legs out. Okay, let's loosen up our hips. So nice deep breath in again, tilt your pelvis so your lower back and back of your pelvis is on the floor, extend your right leg. We're going to be moving our thigh bone in our hips. Let's go for 5 rotations in your own time. Try and keep again that back pinned, that pelvis pinned into the back of into the mat. Sorry. 3, 2, 1. Good, good. And lower. Little rest. Then reset for our left hand side. So draw in belly button to spine. Tilt your pelvis, lower back and back of your pelvis is imprinted. And rotate that thigh 5 times. Really keep that back pushing into the floor. 3, 2, 1. Perfect stuff. Okie dokie. So keeping your feet touching each other now, side by side. We're going to have our knees together, ankles together, arms out to the side at 90 degrees, keeping your core beautifully tight. So what I would like us to do at this point is to prepare ourselves as if we were doing a more Pilates move. So nice deep breath in, tilt your pelvis. Make sure your back and lower pelvis is pinned to the mat. Keep your noisy breath. Keep your knees together now. Take your knees off to the right hand side. But really keep that core as tight as it was when you were flat. So you're going to feel a tighter engagement with the core muscles. So keep your knees stacked, hips stacked and feet together. Really think about keeping that core beautifully tight. Great stuff. Take them back into center. Do a little reset. Make sure you're all nicely lined up. So deep breath in, belly button to spine. Lower back and pelvis pinned into the mat. Squeeze your bum, keep everything stacked and take your legs off to the left. Really keep the core tight. Good job, back to center. Okay, so we're going to be doing individual legs now. We are going to keep starting with our feet and our knees together. So nice deep breath in, belly button to spine, imprinted to the mat. We're going to open out our right leg and keep your glutes tight. And open up and come back out. It's like the petals of a flower, opening out, coming back in. If I disengage my glutes, I can get a lot further out. That isn't what we're looking for. You'll find that my pelvis, back of my pelvis on my left side rises up. Don't want that. I want to keep my pelvis pinned into the ground and opening out that right leg as far as I can, keeping that pelvis on the floor. So we're doing 4 on either side, so we've got 1 more on our right. Beautiful, let's go 4 on our left. Let's go making sure we've tilted our pelvis, our lower back. The back of our pelvis is on the mat and stays there. 4 opens out with our left leg. Keeping our right leg straight up. 1 more. Perfect stuff. Okay. Right. Let's go for our 100. So again, you have your choice of feet positions, having your feet on the floor, up at the tabletop position, or extended and active legs, wherever you wish to hold them, but make sure your lower back and the back of your pelvis stays imprinted on the mat. Okay, so let's go for our 100. Are we ready? So nice deep breath in, belly button to spine, tilt your pelvis, imprint into that mat, stay there. If you're coming up, tuck your chin in, arms to the side, really push down, funnel those ribs in, and go on with your 100. Looking down at your navel, keeping it drawn in. Keep readjusting yourself and making sure you're pushing into the mat with your lower back. It's easy to let it come off, maybe touching, but it's not pushing in. You want it to push in. Here you go at the tabletop lunge, I've got 25 left. And really pushing into the mat, keeping that core drawn in. And when you are done, peel yourself back down to the floor, back to our neutral position, and just have a little rest. Okay, we're going to be doing a hamstring stretch series now, and we'll do our Pilates leg stretch. So keeping your left foot on the floor, and draw in your right leg. So we've been working on our hamstrings. So it's not like getting that leg in as far as you can into your chest. It's not what we're looking for. So you have a straight leg with a soft knee, and you're drawing your leg in as far as you can at that angle. So it's not a case of drawing them as far as you can, so you have to bend the knee. So keep going a relatively straight leg with a soft knee, feeling that nice hamstring stretch going on your back. So we're mixing the two together with mobility stretching and Pilates today. So let's flex and point our toe. So nice and steady, point your toe and flex your foot. So going slow here. Normally go quite quick, but we're going to go a lot slower. So push your heel up to the ceiling. You'll feel the different parts of your hamstring kick in when your foot is flexed. And let's point. Really push away and flex again. So push the heel up, toes down. One more time. Toes to the ceiling. Toes to you, heel to the ceiling. Really feel that stretch coming through. Good job. We're going to take him back down to the floor and do our left. Otherwise all the blood will come out of our legs. So up our right leg on the floor and extend our left. Again, make sure your hips and pelvis stay nice and flat and not sort of leaning off on the side. Now a soft knee and draw your leg in and feeling the stretch in your hamstring. Don't worry about your foot for a moment. Okay, let's go for our flex and our point. So point your left toe for me. Really push. I hope you can feel it all parts of your front of your foot and your shins working. And then bring your toes towards you, flex your heel. And then you'll feel different parts of your hamstrings pulling. Be mindful of your pelvis, keep it flat on that mat. Change to a point, so really push the toes away. Your hands just helping draw your leg in. And change toes to you, heels up to the ceiling. Last time, toes up. Push away, try not to get a toe cramp. Back to neutral, then toes to you, heel to the ceiling. If you flex your toes while you're here, you'll feel all the fascia at the bottom of your feet. It's important to keep those healthy too. You flex and wiggle those toes whilst you're in that flex position. You feel the bottom of your foot working. Perfect, lovely. Let's lower our left leg. Super stuff. Right, back to our right. Extend our right. Bend your right leg over your left knee. So here again, really think about your pelvis. Keep it flat and imprinted on the mat. So your ankle of your right knee is, of your right leg is on your left knee. and push out that right knee very gently. Again, keep that core engaged, back imprinted and pelvis imprinted into the mat. Feel it in your groin area too. Good job. Stop pushing on that leg. Now we're going to reach through and grab our left leg. So your right hand goes to the middle, your left hand is on the outside. We're going to draw both your legs in. Keep your left leg bent at this point for me, please. Again, think about your body position. Your lower back is imprinted and the back of your pelvis is still on the ground. In 3 seconds, we're going to extend our left leg. 2, 1, extend your left. Draw it in a little bit closer. 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Lower your left leg, take them back to the floor, untangle your legs, and change them over. So left leg is up. We're going to bend our left leg so our left ankle is on our right knee. Keeping our core in and lower back of our pelvis imprinted into the mat. Hips are staying flat. Push out your left knee. Feeling that stretch in the left arm. Breathing nice and steady. Perfect. Take your left hand, put that in between your legs. Your right hand is on the outside of your right and draw both legs in. Keeping your right leg bent. Pelvis neutral. Don't let it roll off the side. Just because it's more comfortable, try not to roll off. Stay imprinted and flat on that mat. Extending our right in 3, 2, 1. Let's extend our right and draw the knee. Little stretch going through different areas. 3, 2, 1. Lower your leg. Right foot down to the floor and peel your left. Brilliant stuff. Good. Right. Back to some Pilates core, then we'll do our Pilates leg stretch. So what we're going to first of all do is our roll ups. So those of you again that are working on your strength, what I'd like to do is do your crawl up your side of your thighs. So nice deep breath in, tilt your pelvis, make sure your lower back and back of your pelvis is printed to the mat. Peel yourself up as far as you can, and then draw yourself up with your fingers. Don't pull, literally try and crawl up. So you're trying to each of the bones of your spine as you're coming up into the movement. Then when you're up, keep your hands, those who are working on your strength, keep your hands on your thighs to support you. Keep that lovely roundness in your back and lower yourself back down to the floor under control and back to the bottom. So I'd like us all to go together and use your hands to help you. Either grab on those sides, but really think of peeling yourself up and peeling yourself down. If you have a pair of tights or resistance bands, you can put that against your feet or knees and pull against that. So if you have a towel or something, you could have it here to help pull you up, but under control. So we're going to go for 5 roll-ups and roll-downs. All of us, so if you're doing the crawly up bit or you have the towel for resistance, we're all going to do 5. So you can have your knees bent if you wish, but if we progress to having our legs straight, that would be absolutely superb. So stand nice and tall, active legs, so our toes are to the ceiling. Nice deep breath in, draw everything up and in. So think again about your pelvic floor, so you're up onto your glutes. Everything up and in. Get that nice and round, going on and under control. Lower yourself down to the floor and think bone by bone. Okay. So at this point here is a very slight arch in my back. Before I start doing my curl, back up, I took my chin, I roll my shoulder blades, and now my back is pinned. I can do my roll up. So we've got 4 more. Nice deep breath in, squeeze everything, draw it all up. Keep everything beautifully tight. Just take your breath when you need to. One more. When you've done your 5, remain in the seated upright position. Okay. So roll like a ball. We'll do 5 roll like a balls. And those building on your strength, have a cushion or pillow behind you to help you support your back on the way down. So you can't go all the way down. If you only work currently going in one direction, say it's maybe to the down you can do, keeping in the ball, then use your hands to gradually pull yourself up again. No momentum. By using your hands and walking up, I want you to feel which parts of your body are working. So it's not just a case of getting up, it's working on the right muscle groups. So when you roll like a ball, we just go down to our shoulder blades, we don't go onto our neck or head. Tips would be to, when you first start, come off your sit bones, so you're sitting on the flatter part of your pelvis and your toes off the ground. Don't be too tight in your ball. Breathe a nice comfortable distance. You'd like to have your knees further out. Absolutely fine. But think about again, drawing everything up and in that diaphragm beautifully tight. So let's go for 5 roll like a balls. So nice deep breath in. Draw that core in, make yourself nice and round. Draw to your shoulder blades, and back up. So making sure we're not using our arms or legs to come back up. It's really our core staying tight. We draw up and in on the way up, even tighter to get ourselves back up. Perfect. All done. So you can finish your last roll down if you wish, onto the ground, because that's where we're going to go next. Nice and steady to the floor. Single leg, stretch toes. Okay, so this is where we're drawing one leg in, one leg out. Okay? So you can do this exercise with your head on the floor, or your head supported on the towel, or up with your shoulder blades. The choice of whatever you find more comfortable. Again, just think about your core, draw everything up and in. Tilt your pelvis, so your lower back and the back of your pelvis is imprinted into that mat at all times. Really push into that floor. It's going to help activate more and more muscles. So I'm going to stay with my head down today. So we're going to go for 6 pairs. We're going to start with our right leg. Also here, you have a choice of transitioning halfway through. So I'm sort of transitioning halfway. Or you can do a full stretch, draw your leg in, full stretch. Depending on when it is easier to do full than full, because there's a possibility of letting the core disengage when we do half transitions, but if you have the strength of the coordination, absolutely perfect. So let's go, starting with both knees into our chest, nice deep breath in, set that belly button to spine, really make sure we're solidly imprinted into the floor, keep our right knee in and extend our left. Good. So 6 pairs in your own time, but keep that core solid and pinned into the floor. Drawing in that knee that's into your chest, keeping these legs active as we're extending. 6 pairs. Don't let that lower back come off the floor. I'm halfway, I have 3 more pairs. Nice and steady, don't rush the movement again, keep that core beautifully tight. Everything pinned in, this is my last pair. Drawing that leg in, pushing away the other. Perfect. When you're done, lower both feet back to the floor, into your neutral position, and wait a moment in case you're catching up. Super. So next we're going to go for our scissor stretch. Again, it's still core work. You still have to make sure that you're drawing your belly button into your spine, so your pelvic floor, everything else is all sucked up in and tight. You're pushing into that mat. So you easily just move our legs, but really think about the movement. Okay, so now I'm going to go for our scissor stretch. We're going to have both legs up in the air. Activate them for me, so there's that slight rotation with the femur, so our calves are touching, our heels are touching. I'm going to be lowering one leg and changing over and doing the other. Again, really important to keep that core tight, everything engaged, ribs funneled, back and pelvis into that mat. 6 pairs again, let's go. So a nice deep breath in, So if your hamstrings are tight, you don't have to have a fully straight leg, you can have a slight bend, but keeping that core tight as you extend down and touching your heels to the floor is absolutely perfect. Okay. Right, nice deep breath in. Over into spine, really imprint into that mat. Let's go for our 6 pairs. Again, don't rush, keep that back pinned. So it's not necessarily if you've got straight legs getting your leg all the way to the ground because you risk your back comes off the floor, which you don't want. Really push that back into the mat. Should be kicking in now in those cores. Really keep them tight. And one number 4. Don't rush through the cores of work before you draw the leg back. Keep pushing into the ground. And that's my last 6. When you're done, curl yourself back to neutral position, feet on the floor, neutral hips, neutral chin, just breathe. Okay, let's go on to our sides. We're going to do a side plank. Oh, titty nose, excuse me. So we're going to have you on your hands if you wish. We're still building up our strength down to your elbows for me. So your elbow will be under your shoulder. If you are again not able to quite do a full side plank or you start to get tired, bring your top leg over and bounce that foot flat on the floor. Push up using him so you can still get that beautiful plank position, but you're assisting yourself having your supporting foot in front. Still think about that active waist, so we're not sort of dropping that mid bit. It's in a nice straight body line. So we're going to go up for our side back. I'm going to do my first time round of my foot here so you can see what we're up to. So, nice deep breath in, everybody. Draw everything up and in, stabilize, up onto our side plank. So again, we'll keep that core beautifully tight, active waist, feeling those obliques working in, and extend your upper arm up to the ceiling and look up to your fingertips. The reason again for this is that we open up that entire shoulder girdle, and we don't drop into it. So core's tight, keep that core tight, think about that waist. Hold for 5 more seconds if you can. If you're tiring, push to that supporting leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lovely stuff. Super. We're going to go for 3 reach throughs. So when we're up in our position, we're going to reach through to the mat. You can still do this with your supporting leg in front. Are we ready? So this is the last time on this side for the moment, so we give our shoulders a rest. So nice deep breath in, up into our side plank position. So really, really straight, solid, cores engaged, waist active. Reach all the way up to the ceiling, then reach through to the other side of your mat. Curl around and back up. When you are stable again, reach through. And third and final. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good job. Take yourself down to the floor, have a little stretch. Bend your knees so you feel nice and stable and you're not going to fall over. But still keep your core engaged. Rest in that little shoulder. Then roll over and let's go to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to stick to this time round having my supporting leg in front. You want to, even if you can do a side plank, have a go with having supporting legs. You can really focus on activating that waist. Okay, so top leg up and over. Elbows under our shoulders. Nice deep breath in, suck it all up. Windy blocks, excuse me, up into our side plank. So again, lovely open hips. Fully extend that top arm to the top. Look up to those fingertips, opening up that entire shoulder area. Good hold for 5 more seconds. So think about your waist, nice and active. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Back down. Little rest. Reach throughs are coming next. So again, keep that core beautifully tight. Draw it all in. Think about all the muscles in your internal, external obliques. They're all part of the party. Right, are we ready? Nice deep breath in. Let's go up to our side plank. Again, use this supporting foot here to help get you up. Think about your alignment. Get yourself nice and static. Open up the shoulders and let's go for 3 reach throughs in your own time. Lovely and steady. Don't rush the movement. Once we've done our 3rd reach through, we're going to hold for 5 more seconds in our side plank. Keep those cores tight. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Lower yourself back down to the ground. Have a little stretch out. Bend your knees so you don't think you're going to fall over. Have a little side rest. Spin round one final time back to our original side. We're going to do our hip drops next. So again, we're going to keep our top leg over the front, just supporting stability. If you want to, of course, you can most definitely have your both legs together, making sure they're active. We're working on our hip dips. I want to make sure we've got extra bit of stability. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to have a nice deep breath in, stabilize everything up onto our side plank position. Upper arm as usual. But what we're going to do now is drop our hips and come up. Really think about your waist. So drop your hips, but don't disengage. 5 of these, okay? So into our side plank position, nice deep breath in, everything nice and engaged. Once you're solid, 5 drops. Really draw your waist in. Don't let it drop out. Really keep it tight. Squeeze. So when you're going up, you're going to feel this underside working. Having 5, squeeze, squeeze, and down. Beautifully done. Change over, last time. All good. Supporting leg. Elbow under your shoulder, nice deep breath in. Let's go for 5 hip dips on this side. So get into your beautiful side plank first. Feel solid and balanced. Make sure your core is tight and 5 drops. Up and squeeze. So try not to lower your hip until you can feel those obliques working. 4 and 5. Perfect stuff. Relax, rolling onto your tummy. Hands into a triangle. And breathe. Okay, so we're going to stay with upper body in this position, but make sure your legs are slightly closer. Fix them for me, please. So, core's nice and tight. So you're pushing your hips and ribs into the mat, squeezing your glutes. We're going to do our hamstring curls. And so we're going to lead with our heel. You must keep everything beautifully tight, so your core is engaged with such everything up and in, pushing into your mat. You're going to feel your rectus spine working to stabilize. We're going to do 8 curls and then a little pulse at the top. Flex the foot, draw up with the heel, don't rush it, but keep squeezing into the ground. And pushing our hips into the ground and curling. At this point here, we're stretching our quads and contracting our hamstrings, so they're both working in a nice antagonistic way. We've got 2 more on our right. Squeeze. So we're stretching and working. Last one. Perfect. Change over. Let's bend our left knee. Depending which one you did first, of course. So your core is lovely and tight again. Your bits and bobs, your pelvis is pushed into the mat. You're going to feel it lower back activating. We're going for 8 curls. So really scrunch up and a little pulse and extend. And 8 of these. Don't rush the movement, pull with your heel, nice and controlled. everything tight. Easy to let it drop out, pushing into that mat. Last one. Perfect. Nice and relaxed, head back onto your hands, breathe. Okay, so for our cat and cow, draw your hands around to the side and get yourselves up onto your hands and knees. So we'll do 2 cat and cows. So our hands are directly under our shoulders and our hips are over our knees. So nice deep breath in for me. Draw that belly button into your spine. Round yourself up, drop your head, push into the ground with your heels and your palms. Keep all nice and tight. Really stretch through the shoulders. And now transition to the cow. Keep the core tight. Engage the glutes. Bring your head up and your hips up, keeping your body nice and long. You really feel your core, your body get nice and long. 3, 2, 1, and back to neutral. Okay. One more time. And draw your breath in. Hook it all up into your diaphragm. Round up, back. Feel the stretch at the top of your shoulders. Push into the ground. Transition to your cow, so your core remains tight. Squeeze the glutes, lift your head, lift your hips. Keep your body as long as possible. Perfect. Back to neutral. Down to your forearm, onto your haunches. Extend your arms and stretch. Back up to your forearms, up to your hands and knees. We'll do our pointed dog. So we're going to be extending our legs out. We are going to do 2 rounds, one with hands, one without. We're going to do both rounds with hands. Absolutely perfect. Remember not to move until you're stable. So let's go first of all, let's plant our left toe. We're going to extend our right leg. So our hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips, toe is planted. Nice deep breath in, stabilize and push out that right heel. Really keep your core nice and tight, your hips level. Pushing your heel away, making your legs as long as possible. 3, 2, 1. Draw them back in. Good job. Reset your breath. Plant your right toe. Let's go for our left. Keep this glutes really beautifully tight too. Push out that left heel. Really pushing out as far as you can. Keeping your angles. And rest. Good job. Have a little wriggle. Now we're going to bring our hands in. Again, if you bring your hands in first of all, that's fine. We're just going to be doing it again. So let's plant our left toe. Nice deep breath in, engage everything, squeeze your booty, push out your right heel. Once you're stable, extend your left arm. So you're pushing out with your fingertips of your left and pushing over the heel of your right. All good? Keep your gaze to the ground, so nice neutral cervical spine. 3, keep pushing. 2, 1, draw them back in. Good job. Changing over. Plant your right toe. Nice deep breath in, squeeze your glutes, core is engaged, push out your left foot. When you are stable, extend your right arm, push over your right fingertips, your left heel, make yourself long, keep your gaze down. 5 seconds, keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Back to neutral. Forearms, haunches, stretch. back to forearms, back onto our hands and knees. If you need extra support under a knee, let me know. Let me know, get a cushion. Right. So we're going to be up at our 90 degrees. So my right knee is over my right foot, my left knee is under my left hip. Perfect. So we're going to keep our core nice and tight, standing upright, hips facing forward. Lean forward, so we're going to feel the stretch through our rear leg hip flexor. That's the front of the hips. Keep the core nice and tight and everything nice and solid. Keep your hips facing forward, don't let them spin off to any side. Can make the stretch easier. So if I open up my hips, I can get a lot lower down. That's not what I'm looking for. We're staying at 90 degrees, hips staying forward, hip flexor stretch. Core is still tight, glutes are tight. Perfect. Back to neutral. So one more time. Nice deep breath in, engage that core. Back is solid, activated, hips are facing forward, stretch out the hip flexor. Good job. Change legs over. Leg the leg forward, get your angles. So as you're feeling that stretch, keeping that core engaged, you're going to feel your hip flexors stretching and all the way up through your core if you've got them activated. So nice deep breath in, hips facing forward, activate, solidify everything, pushing forward. Really keep that core tight, feel the abs kick in. Back to neutral, one more time. Then rest, reset. Activate everything, core beat feet tight, pushing forward, keeping your hips facing forward. Really draw the core in. Back to neutral, good stuff. Okie dokie, let's bring ourselves up to standing. All good? Right, so let's work out stretching out those sides again. Have your hands to the side. Keep your core engaged, reach down the thigh. Maybe a little bit further. And back to center. Change them over. Really feel the obliques scrunching in. Back up one more time. Scrunching down. Back up and change over. Good job. Okay, this time extend your left arm. Slide down and go over. So it's more of the stretch now on the outside. You feel a slight scrunch on the inside, but it's more for this extended arm. Good job. Change over. Arm at first, core nice and tight. You're stuck between two planes of glass. Keep the core tight. Up again, change them over. Back to our first side. So nice deep breath in, engage the core, slide down that thigh. Feel that stretch all the way down here. Think about your knees too, by the way, make sure they're not locked down. Good job. Last time on this side. Extend up, core is engaged, slide down. Perfect. Nice. So let's roll our shoulders nice and steady. Again, think about your shoulder blades moving on the back of your ribs. Loosen up those fascias, all those tissues. Change direction from bringing forward. Lifting the elbows, slightly bigger movement. Perfect stuff. Okay, so a nice deep breath in. So a nice neutral legs. Feet directly under our hips. Nice deep breath in. All the way up. Push up to the ceiling, go up to our tiptoes. Breathe out, arms down. Have a recovery breath. Set your shoulder blades for me, pushing those shoulders down. Let's look to our left. To the center, look to your right. Center, again, thinking about these traps. Push those shoulder blades down for me, drop your chin under control. Feel a different stretch coming through. Neutral, head up. Neutral, good job. One more deep breath in. Wings up, push up to the ceiling, up to our tippies. Breathe out, arms down. Shake them out with your recovery breath, have a little wriggle. And that's you lovely lot done. So today just slightly different, slightly more, some fundamental Pilates and some mobility. Pilates is so hard. Yeah, just to loosen us all off, ready for the day. Have a fab day. We'll see you tomorrow. What day is it tomorrow? Thursday. Fit Over 50s at 11. You'd think I'd get the hang of this. Any questions, send them over. Ciao for now.